What is up, guys? Welcome everyone to a new Goldmaking video. So in this one, I'm gonna be showing you a trick that a lot of people are missing out basically, and this is going to be a method that is gonna allow you to make thousands or even tens of thousands of gold without really almost doing anything. You are basically doing a few clicks here and there, spending a few seconds, and that's pretty much it. You just do this every once in a while from time to time, and it's going to be super easy. It doesn't matter if you have the latest expansion, you don't need it. Doesn't matter if you are on any class, it doesn't matter anything, right? This is especially ideal for you if you are looking to find a really easy and fast way of making just a few thousand gold every once in a while in order to cover for reapers or like potions for raids or mythic plus, that type of stuff. This is going to be absolutely great for you, right? Or even if you just want to make more gold, if you're a goblin, right? If you're a gold maker. So yeah, now I wanna not just show you the method. I wanna explain everything in detail so you know why the method works, and also you're gonna understand at the end of this video why this method is really good and is also going to continue to work in the future, right? This is going to be a method that is gonna work 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I'm certain about it, and it's gonna be really good, right? So first of all, let's start speaking about a certain item that we're gonna use in this strategy, right? The item is going to be this one, the Lucky Turtle Charm. This is an item that is going to allow you to get teleported to the Stormstone Valley, which is an area in the Battle for Azeroth expansion. You can see here in Kultiras there's a place called the Stormstone Valley. And this is going to be relatively hard to access if you are on the Horde, because you could require to do a relatively long quest line that a lot of people find it annoying and they don't want to do, me included. Basically, it's much faster to just get this item, and every time that you want to get in here, you just use the item, as the item doesn't really have a limit of uses, right? It's kind of like a Hearthstone, right? But for a different place, right? It's just locked to this place, right? So yeah, you can basically use this item for this reason. This area is also really important, okay? Because you might be thinking, well, there are people leveling maybe on this area right now, but on the future, maybe this area is not as popular for leveling, right? And if you're thinking that, I agree with you. But the thing is, it's not really about that, okay? It's about the fact that there are some gold farms that are really good, because some of these gold farms that are on this area are giving you loot that is no longer, is not obtainable in any other place, right? For example, there is a gold farm for a mount that I have recently covered in here. In this area, in Drasvar, in this channel, there's also a farm in Mechagon for some like pieces that people eventually buy to create a certain mount, basically, a flying mount. So these are going to be places that are always going to have some value attached to them, and people are always want to have access to them from time to time, right? Now, knowing all of this, this item, basically, you can see that is going for, well, I'm going to show you on the auction house better. As you can see, the Lucky Turtle and Charm, as of now, is going for about 900 gold, right? Now, keep in mind that I'm on the biggest realm for the Horde in the US region, which usually means that the price here for the majority of the items is super low. It's not always the case, sometimes it's high, but 90% of the times it's really low, the prices, right? So you're gonna keep in mind that this item is, generally speaking, like I'm speaking 80-90% of the realms, okay, it's going for more than 1k gold, right? So I'm just gonna assume that the sale price of this is 1k gold, even though you can sell it for way more if you are really patient, but let's just say something like that, right? Let's just say 1k gold, right? Yeah, so the sell rate for this item, even though it's relatively old, is extremely high, right? It's 0.054. This is a sell rate that is extremely uncommon for such old items, and it's basically an item that is selling almost as good as any of the current content items, okay? So this is really good, right? In terms of everything, in terms of region sell average, in terms of region sell rate, right? Because the region sell average is, usually influenced on the lower end for a lot of people that are buying these items, flipping them. There's people that will buy these items. They do not know the value of this because they do not have the proper add-ons for it. They do not have the information. And they simply will just sell it for like really cheap. They think it's maybe some worthless item. And basically they just don't know, right? So yeah, let's assume that we are going to be able to sell this for 1k, which is really realistic, right? Now the question is, yeah, sure, okay, 1k, right? For each of these items. But the question is, can you get them easily? Yes, the answer is yes. You can go to a certain vendor. By the way, you don't need to do absolutely anything in order to have access to this vendor. You just come here, talk to the vendor, and boom, you are able to get this item instantly, right? Which is one of the best things about this method of making gold, because usually with this type of methods, you will need to have reputation with like a certain, a faction or something like that, and then you will have to be doing some grinding in order to unlock this, right? But this is not the case. This is just available to sell by default, right? You don't need absolutely anything. You are just able to get this for free, basically, right? Now, as you can see, this is being sold for about 50 gold, right? Which is extremely cheap, of course, as we are going to be selling this for like 1k gold. So you're going to be able to make a lot of gold from each of these, right? Now, the only downside to this method is that you cannot carry multiple items, like multiple of these items at the same time, right? But you can have a lot of these on the auction house at all times, okay? Now, how do you do this? You basically do the following. You open the auction house, you try to sell the item. I'm gonna post it at this price, just for the example, right? And now, even though I technically own an item because it's on my on the auction house and it's not sold yet, the game doesn't think that I actually own the item as long as it's posted on the auction house, right? So what I do now is I can right click and boom, I will have another. I can open my mail and I'm gonna be able to get another. And you can basically post as many of these. I'm gonna show you. I can just post another one again. Boom, this is extremely efficient method. And of course you can make this on multiple realms and then you can make some crazy stuff with that, right? But yeah, and now let's take a look at where this vendor is located. This is located as of now in the Cathalgar area, which is the War Within expansion area. You basically just take a portal to Dornogal on any of the major capital cities, either on Orgrimmar for the Horde or Stormwind for the Alliance. All you have to do is take that portal to Dornogal, so you're going to appear somewhere around here. And then basically you're just going to come to this little place here called like the Fissure. This little path in here, and once you are here, you're going to be able to spot this guy, which is like little bit here on the shadow, a little bit hidden. As you can see, he's called Grifta, right? Now, something worth mentioning about the other items, right? I'm not exactly sure, like for example, about this one or whatever, right? But basically what you need to know is that a lot of these items that he's selling, they are basically worthless, right? They're basically baits, or they're basically like some sort of a scam, you could say, right? These items are just like kind of a meme, that they added to the game, where they say stuff like for example, this one, right? It says full refund if it fails to keep you from being eaten whole by some monster, right? Which the thing is, if you're already dead, you're not gonna be able to claim the refunds, right? So it's kind of like little meme or like little game that they added here. But basically, just be aware: do not go and try to buy these items and sell them on the auction house. They are worthless. Okay, they are literally worthless. This one you cannot put it on the auction house because it binds on pickup. This one is also a bait, doesn't do anything. This one I'm not entirely sure. I think it's useful for something, not exactly sure. This one doesn't really matter anymore, and this one doesn't really matter anymore. These are items about the, for the War Within expansion, which is not the main one at the moment anyways, right? It's not the latest one. So yeah, this is pretty much the item. Lucky Turtle and Charm, get as many as you want. I mean, realistically, do not go crazy and buy like 100 of them, right? Because then price is gonna go down, because when people see that there's an item posted a lot of times, like 100 of them, people start thinking, okay, this item is relatively low value, right? They have this psychology attached to them, right? This idea. So I'll recommend you to maybe buy 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 at most, right, per realm, and post them. And I'll recommend you to not post more than those. And then every time you make a sale, you can just restock, right? Basically, you're going to be able to make thousands of gold every month by doing this alone. And it's just going to take you like, few seconds, few minutes at most, if you're doing this with like a lot of these items, right? A lot of these Lucky Turtle and Charms. But yeah, that's pretty much the method. I hope you found this video useful. Don't Don't forget to consider leaving a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.